Good evening, folks. This is Black Vic Shade Floral 226 coming at you with a vlog tonight. And I don't mean to come off as tired. I've been a little disappointed with how my vids have turned out. I'm not satisfied, and I feel like I sound really dull and like a dullard, and a little dumb for it, but I'm sitting here and I'm doing my best. So I try to write out my essays explaining what I'd like to discuss and discuss them. And I have my notes right here. So I'm going to get started with you and talk to you about my past experience with just getting acquainted with the internet, because I've just started out vlogging and it's a new experience for me, some new horizons. And I've come from blogging, really, and blogging is a little stable, but it's not as visionary as vlogging is. So in two previous vids, I discussed my alienation with the internet, and with my situating with Myspace. Um, it had been real hard for me. I know that at the time I didn't have much friends and I didn't know how to network. And so it was really hard for me because this was the day and time that expert ways of being able to contact people over the internet to establish a group of friends ongoing um, wasn't heard of. It was it it had been the time when networking had first been introduced, and I know that. Yes, I know that networking goes as far back as being able to make friends, knowing friends, grouping with friends has, which is ageless. But with the internet, with cameras, and with the surveillance, and with the sites, it's a new thing, and it's a a stabler interface. So I'm here with you to discuss my experience with that, because I'd like to be I'd like to establish myself as a small-time vlogger. I didn't want to do anything too huge, but I really am just coming around and I like it. I think it's a great um, workable medium for me to get into, um, and for me to establish just a following, and also um, to make contact with people who'd like to be friends with me, um, anonymous through the anonymous internet. So that way it's not going to be through an easier method of establishing a group of friends, like going to school or meeting them at work. A group of people, as many as the fingers on your hand is, and just making a connection with each of them and then establishing a group that way. I wanted to do it through the internet and with persons unknown, and share information with them. And this isn't dating. I just wanted to be clear that this is not going to be a dating thing. Because I know those days of MySpace and then Facebook first coming around, dating had been a huge part of people wanting to connect. And that's not what this is for me, because what motivated me when after I left MySpace and had gone on to Facebook, um, was establishing a group of friends and net grouping. And I prefer net grouping to networking, which spans out farther and longer, um, with a, a greater group of friends. Um, so let me just sit here and discuss it. Um, I don't think my essay is that great. Um, I feel like I could have established more and I would have liked to. So, anyways, I'm going to set out and discuss it with you. And I'm going to make sense this time and get this done. So, here goes. In the earliest time of pre social networking America was the newly established network of Myspace. I first heard Myspace's name dropped on VH1's Flavor of Love's episode of Where Are They Now? When I had first heard it dropped, our family had been enjoying our newly installed internet service around the year of pre summer 2007. So I heard about the network in the nick of time, much before, way before Facebook network premiered. MySpace was why I had even heard of network socializing. And those days were the days before Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, or even Snapchat had been heard of, though Reddit had been around for a time. Why am I discussing this? Well, it's because I wanted to share how the allure of hearing about MySpace had been more interest to me than my overall experience with them had been. Maybe I'm being overcritical and expressly exasperated um, when I say that. I did enjoy the many sites they had where you could upload designed, excellent paged profiled wallpapers, vivaciousness, and vivid color expression. This isn't some kind of mind blowing, ultra modern HD quality vlog episode here, but it's the indiest, lo fiest recollection of my experience I'm sharing with you. This vlog here. See if my recollections relate to your former experience with the MySpace site. You would have to be an ex MySpacer to be able to recall. I dropped off the site network early 2008 to 2009 when it was still a social establishment at the time. Excuse me, I'm just like stumbling over my words. I had just left a job at the time and had been settling in at home after it. And around that time for me, Facebook had been rumored and had just come around. I didn't see ads for it on TV, but after I had left work, I recontacted a work friend I knew and MySpaced with after he granted me my friend request, allowing me to view his profile. Though my hearing of Facebook was by his word of mouth. When I'd asked him what he'd been up to lately, before I'd yet heard of Facebook. YouTube had been a mainstay and social buzz I thought was so cool school. I could keep up with movie premieres through the MySpace banners they posted up every month alone. As for MySpace, all in all, my experience with the site was like me playing hide and seek with my own happiness. There wasn't an opportunity to network connect with anyone in sight. And when I went to the site search page to find people to talk to, there had been, excuse me, there had been an option and open source where current people online were revealed to be presently on and active with the live orange blip that informed you that they were on and live for any chatting. I would browse the blipped pictures there, hoping to score someone who was like me, whom I could chat with. All that I happened to run into were a lot of strange white folk who were pictured all over the fold. I couldn't find a random black person even close to being someone like me. I could have contacted the white folk who were there, pictured, who were presently scoring and chatting up people on their page and commenting forums at the time, but I suddenly recollected my woes with AOL chatting and how strangely I always ran into older, more mature countrymen who would shoot me small talk to see if I would bite for a quick score through chatting. The longer I looked at the blipping orange white folk pictured there, the more my conscience nagged me about my possibility of coming off as being or seeming socially challenged to them. And don't forget initial homophobia just because you're wanting to chat with someone of the same sex and make friends, hoping you're going to find someone, hopefully, on the same level as you, who's willing to chat platonically and expertly exchange a correspondence with you to make a social connection and friend you. Those times were so unintelligent about sex. And dating was what drove their numbers of users. The middle-aged, young and old flocked Myspace to make and establish connections. But the social medium was so new at the time, they hadn't yet established expert ways to socially communicate yourself out to establish a net grouping, number of friends, in order to start a friendship group or groups online. It was Facebook's network that established this commonplace. The laughable thing about the time was that they all thought they were the possibility for establishment, but were too self-involved to be open, net intelligent to realize it for themselves. And any users out there who were like me that craved friends were all mentally too stumped at the time to realize it either. Thank goodness for college students like Mark Zuckerberg and his team of friends who brought the idea to infancy, to plan. Otherwise, we could have been neck deep in sites devoted to linking and dating. Still. And with AOL, Yahoo, and MSN Chat, it all summed up to the pit stop of chat linking, where you would chat with an anonymous person for a time, and you either successfully exchanged information or didn't, and could situationally stand someone up that you couldn't find yourself getting with or wasn't physically attracted to when they went on a limb and revealed their photo to you as their first step to connection. I feel sorry for situations such as these. And don't forget the telltale vibes that some of those people's anonymous names and pictures would give off. And there were some weird, strange, and very aloof sorts of vibes that people and their pictures would give off at the time, which was my situational experience with the live orange blipped persons of MySpace. Facebook isn't scot-free either. The habit of blocking your page private to any onlookers who looked you up through your name was an ongoing fad for online users against people who would stalk Facebook to learn of an unrequited friend's love obsession status. for their own burgeoning insecurities' satisfaction. Yep, those were the times for me in loneliness when I had been learning to overcome it. Now that I've understood that net grouping friends is the basis of what social networking is all about, I am devoting my time by putting myself out there. Back in time, in the day, you had to know your friends through work, school, and or college to already establish the connection. It was easier. However, I am hoping that establishing a connection with anonymous people who reveal who they are to you consentingly can also be a plausible application to basing friendships. Realistically and promptly, by characteristically enabling patronizing associations. I also hope for this kind of situational attempt with based friending is possible. If you think about it, friending this way is subsequently efficient if incorporated into personal practice. It encourages social networking to a fine practical standard, accelerating practicality of base connecting and connections. So I hope you really listen to what I've discussed, every word that I've said, and hung by every word that I've said, just to understand where I'm coming from, because I don't want my vlogs coming off as confusing and warbled, because I try to state as clearly as I can, possibly, um, what I'm trying to discuss, and to try to make it come off as clearly as possible so that you can understand my context and my sense of speech to what I'm saying for my discussions. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, and I'm I'm I've breezed through it, and so I say watch, like, comment, and share, and watch some more. I'm definitely gonna come back with more right back at you. And I hope that you stick around and are patient with me. I am new at vlogging and doing this. Um, and so I also hope to be more elaborate and come at you more freely about my discussions and just things and events currently that are ongoing that come to mind for me. And that I don't come off as confusing to you because I make sense in my mind of what I'm talking about, um, especially when I put it down on paper, is because I it helps me to make sense of my words so that you can follow my speech as I say it. Um, so I won't draw on any longer. It's night now, and I was watching some TV here. So I'll leave it there, and I'll definitely come back at you with more. Um, Please don't forget to subscribe, and please comment. And be nice with your comments because I am new to this, and it's good to be a learner in a learning experience. So, don't be harsh. Um, you may think that it's great way to socialize and to come off personally, but I find it's a lot easier to try and communicate with people than to just be an average troll and I don't know, damage someone's day. So I'll just leave that there for now, and I'll come right back at you again. All right. So I bid you good night. Thanks for tuning in and sticking around, and we'll talk again. And also, I want to add that I've left my Tumblr and my Instagram addresses there, so you can contact me there like that, through through those two. Um, I'm going through a situation with my Instagram, very much like my Facebook, because I'm still going happening to deal with the mess that I've been going through on Facebook. It's gone on to Instagram, and I'm trying to overcome and prevent this situation from happening with Tumblr, because I don't know, it's like a virus, and I'm not saying it is a virus, but the situation sort of seems like one, behaves like one. So I'll leave it there. And thanks for being patient with me. I'll come right back at you again. All right. Good night and bye.